For years, we've all heard the talk about AI and jobs. It's been a lot of hype, a lot of speculation. But what if the first real data-driven signs of its impact are already here? Well, today, we're cutting through all that noise. We're going to dive deep into a landmark study that might just have the answers. Let's get into it. And this phrase, pulled right from that Stanford report, is perfect. It really captures what we're doing today. We're looking for the canaries in the coal mine, those first small warnings that signal a huge shift is coming in the job market. It's like feeling the first tremors before the earthquake really hits. So, this is the big question, isn't it? Is this whole AI thing something for our kids to worry about down the line? Or is it affecting careers right now, today? The debate's been going back and forth, but it's always been missing one critical thing: hard data, real, large-scale evidence. Well, until now. This Stanford report is gonna be our guide. What makes it so special is that it uses this massive, high-frequency dataset that tracks millions of workers in practically real time. This gives us the first clear empirical look at what is actually happening on the ground. So let's ditch the speculation and just follow the facts. Okay, so the report boils everything down to 6 key facts. And the reason this study is such a game changer is the data source, ADP, the payroll giant. We're not talking about a small survey here. This is a real-time window into the paychecks and job titles of millions of American workers. It lets researchers spot trends that old-school government data might not see for months or even years. Now, this chart, this reveals the report's first 2 findings. And honestly, they're startling. Take a look. Since late 2022, in jobs that are highly exposed to AI, employment for young workers, it dropped by 6%. But get this, for senior workers in the exact same jobs, employment actually went up by 6 to 9%. So this tells us it's not just some simple tech slowdown. Something much bigger, a real structural shift is happening, and it's targeting the newest people in the workforce. So you're probably asking, how is this actually happening? Well, that brings us to the report's 5th key finding. The impact isn't showing up in paychecks, it's showing up in the number of jobs. Companies are simply hiring fewer entry-level people. That door that was always open for new graduates, well, it's starting to get a whole lot narrower. But here's the confusing part. If demand for these jobs is falling, shouldn't wages be dropping too? Well, not yet. This points to a classic idea in economics called wage stickiness. Basically, in the short term, it's a lot easier for a company to just not hire someone new than it is to cut the pay for everybody who's already there. The adjustment is happening with the number of jobs, not the size of the paychecks. So this table puts all 6 facts together, and these findings are incredibly solid. They're still true even when you take out all the tech companies. What's really crucial is that the data shows the job loss is focused in these substitute AI roles, and the whole effect is directly tied to the explosion of generative AI in late 2022. So now we know what is happening. The next big question is why? And this brings us to the absolute core of this whole investigation, the why behind all that data. It turns out, not all AI is created equal. The Stanford report, building on some amazing research from the AI company Anthropic, found that the type of AI being used is the single most important factor. The key is really understanding these 2 different flavors of AI. First, you've got substitute AI. This is what most people are afraid of. It automates and flat out replaces a task a human used to do. Think of an AI writing basic marketing copy. Then you have enhancer AI. This is more like a tool. It acts as a coach or a super assistant, helping a human do their job better and faster. And right here, this is the crucial divide. The Stanford data couldn't be clearer. That drop in youth employment we saw, it is almost entirely happening in jobs where AI is being used as a substitute. In fields where AI is an enhancer, job numbers for young people were stable, or in some cases, even went up. This distinction, it's everything. Okay, so what are the long-term consequences of this big shift? I mean, if all the entry-level jobs are being automated away, how is the next generation supposed to even start, let alone build a career? This leads us to a potentially really dangerous outcome for the whole economy. Here is the fundamental reason young workers are getting hit the hardest. AI is amazing at replacing what's called codified knowledge. That's the stuff you learn from textbooks, from manuals, the standardized procedures. And new graduates, they're full of this kind of knowledge. What they don't have is tacit knowledge. That's the intuition, the judgment, the wisdom that you can only get from real-world experience. And AI, well, it can't replicate that. And this creates what the report calls the pipeline paradox. Think about it. Step 1, AI automates all those basic tasks that junior employees use to cut their teeth on. Step 2, companies see this and, logically, they hire fewer junior people. Step 3, a whole generation of workers misses out on that crucial first rung of the career ladder where they build that invaluable tacit knowledge. And the result? Maybe a decade from now, we could be looking at a critical shortage of experienced senior leaders. It's like we're eating the seeds we need for next year's harvest. Okay, so the data is clear. The warning has been sounded. The logical question is, what in the world do we do about it? So let's move from just analyzing this to taking action. This isn't about fighting the future, it's about adapting to it. And there's a plan here for everyone. First up, let's talk to the group that's right in the line of fire, students and recent graduates. I'm just going to say it, the old playbook for how to start a career is now officially obsolete. So here's the new strategy. It's got 3 parts. First, you've got to target fields where AI is an enhancer, not a substitute. Think about healthcare, education, skilled trades. Second, you have to aggressively go after internships, projects, any kind of hands-on work you can find. Your number one goal is to build that tacit knowledge that AI can't touch. And third, and this might sound a little weird, combine your technical skills with humanities. Why? Because understanding people is becoming more valuable than ever. Next up, for all the professionals already in the workforce, this wave is coming for everyone, and believe me, it is time to get ready. Your defense is to build a personal moat around your career. First, you have to master AI tools. Stop seeing them as a threat. See them as a super assistant that makes you way better at your job. Second, double down on the uniquely human skills: communication, leadership, creative problem solving. And third, just like the students, focus on piling up that deep, industry-specific tacit knowledge that makes your judgment totally invaluable. And finally, let's talk to the people who are actually implementing this technology. The choices that business leaders and entrepreneurs make today are going to determine the health of not just their companies, but our entire economy tomorrow. The message from this data is crystal clear. You have to shift your mindset from pure automation, which is just about cutting costs, to augmentation, which is all about adding value. Redesign jobs so they're collaborative, where humans do what we do best and AI handles the grunt work. And maybe most importantly, invest in training your current workforce. Don't break your own talent pipeline. Make it stronger. So let's bring this all together. The evidence we're seeing from the Stanford report, it's not some doomsday prophecy. It does not signal the end of work. But it is, without a doubt, a signal of the reshaping of work on a scale that we probably haven't seen in generations. Those canaries in the coal mine, they're singing loud and clear now. We have the first real data-backed evidence of how generative AI is fundamentally changing the job market, and it's starting with the very first step on the career ladder. Ignoring this alarm just isn't an option anymore. The time to adapt for every single one of us is now. And that leaves us with one final question to really think about. As you look at your own career, your own skills, what is the one thing you can focus on building this year that is uniquely human? The one skill that an AI, no matter how powerful it gets, simply cannot replicate. Your answer to that question might just be the key to everything.